I like that for the welcome rather than, welcome back, guys.
Yes.
You know, how you guguys doing, man?
Good, good, good. It's been cold these few days. I'm feeling it, but it's good to have winter in July. And today we have a very special guest, Mr. Jeff, all the way from Thangja, UIC. How are you there, bye?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you very much, Variables team, for having me here tonight.
No,
Yeah.
for sure. I'm keeping warm. I got the bubble jacket on today. This is relatively cold. This is Juhai cold. This is not like cold, cold.
This is
But
not cold for, but
but
it's
it
cold for you. High.
but for Juhai, it's cold as shit. But
It is.
let's make that clear. It is cold, and it's kind of refreshing because we know in like a month and a half. Because damn, we're already in January. In a month and a half, this will be over with. It's
That's
gonna be
for
back
sure.
to sunny skies, and then by March, April,
Very good.
it's over with. It's over with. It's over with. So
Yeah, because in Juhai, actually, we have kind of three weathers,
yeah,
3 seasons. We have summer and rainy season, and summer and rainy season, summer, rainy. And in the middle, you have a little bit of winter season.
yeah.
Yeah.
And winter season is kind of like a spring for
It's
us.
kind of spring. Yeah.
It never like the trees never really get barren. Like they're still always green all year round.
For
But you
sure.
could tell the difference between the trees in the summer and in the Juhai winter.
Yes.
Yeah, it's been somewhat of a long week for us. For our international people that aren't living in China, whenever we have like these holidays, most of the time we have to make up like a day or two, which is
Right.
seems crazy. But we have it. So this week I started work on Sunday.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, so Friday tomorrow will be our 6th day of work, and it's been long, but it's went by fast. Did you also start work on Sunday?
Not usually, because this is our final exam time.
Mhm.
And for my courses, I've already finished the exams last week.
Okay,
Finish all the markings. So this week is kind of easy for me. But from next week, we'll have all the final meetings, like exam meetings, board meetings. So next week is gonna be easy for me.
for sure. Can you tell the people, because like I'm not sure if the people know already, but me and Otis, we teach like younger kids. He teaches older kids than me. I teach babies. I teach kindergarten. But where do you teach? What do you teach?
And I think actually Jebbai is one of the most literal people I know in Chuha.
Yeah.
He has his doctorate, is teaching at UIC.
Hey.
So I want to let's talk about this more. Your experiences in Chuha. So let's answer Andrew's question first.
Okay. I'm not sure actually about the teaching the kids, but to me, since I teach the university students,
Yeah.
I'd say my students are kind of matured. And the interesting thing is, when you teach the matured student, you have the opportunity to learn from them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because for the kids, I think it's more like a one-way communication, because you teach them, and maybe I'm not sure. Actually, I'm not sure that whether they also help you to learn something or not. But for us, or at least for me, it's more like a two-way learning process.
Yeah.
Because what I tell my students that in one class there are maybe 50, 60 students, and there's only one me.
Yeah.
So I don't know everything for sure.
For sure.
So I know few things. Maybe I know something from literature, but my students know a lot more than me. If you compare myself as one person with 50 students in the class. So I just bring a topic in the class, and since I teach management and entrepreneurship, so I just bring some topics about entrepreneurship and management. And I ask the students, "So what do you think about it?" And then I learn actually more from the students. So I think in this way, students can learn from each other more.
Oh, that's nice. And I think that's usually and you usually teach masters, graduate students.
I teach two types of students. Most of my students are undergraduate students, but in addition to undergraduate students, I also teach the PhD students once in a year.
Oh,
So there is one course I teach entrepreneurship for RPG students. RPG means research postgraduate students. So MPhil and PhD students.
so I believe, because I'm also doing my masters. So I believe like if you are even in bachelor's, like in undergraduate studies, but graduate studies like masters or PhD, it's less than teaching. It's more like guiding. You do
Right,
all
right. It's more like guiding, basically, because when they are already in their bachelor program, they are already, as I said, they're matured students.
Yeah.
So you don't need to teach them. You just need to tell them about some topics.
Mm.
So from the book, from our educational materials, we know about different theories, different information. So as long as you can share some information as students, they can relate that with the real life experiences or from real life scenarios. So as long as you bring some topic from, let's say, some business issues, and then they can relate that with either with Elon Musk or with Mark Zuckerberg, so they can see the real picture. They can relate with the textbook. So that is the thing we can actually see from our bachelor student.
All right. So before we go more into your work and your studies, I would like to know, because I know, but people who don't know, can you give me like your little bit background? Like where you're from, what you
Right.
studied, and how did you end up?
Give us your whole biography.
Yes.
Oh, that's gonna be a long story, I guess.
We have time. No, we don't have
Okay.
time.
Well, a little bit of biography. So I'm originally from Bangladesh. Well, as I said, I teach management here, but that was not my background at the beginning. So when I was in my childhood, like every child has a dream, right?
Yeah.
And most of the children, I think their dream is like become a pilot, become a scientist, right? That's like a most common dream. But for me as a child, my dream was to become a genetic engineer.
Oh, wow.
Because when I was a child, in my home, I had like a private tutor
Hmm.
who was doing his master's in genetic engineering.
Okay.
And he used to tell me the stories about like crossbreeding different species,
Oh.
like different fishes. And since then, my dream was to become a scientist, a genetic engineer. But then when I was in my senior high school, before the national exam, actually during the national exam, I had a chicken pox. So since I had chicken pox during the exam, my score was not very high. So
Yeah.
I could not go to the number one college
Okay.
for science.
Yeah.
And at that time, actually, as a child, I was very arrogant. So I was like, okay, since I can't go to the number one college for science, I'll go to number one college for business.
Mm.
So that's how I moved to the business studies in my college. And then uh, in my university, now, next story. In my university, I had a double major. So basically, I didn't have a management major, although I'm teaching management now.
Yeah.
So my major was business strategy and finance. And when I was actually before I chose my major, because it was a BBA program, in BBA program, you can choose different majors. So once I went to the management program director and I said, I want to choose management or human resource management as my major. And the director said that I don't think you are actually qualified to be a management student. So you should choose something else. So that thing struck me that, oh, why he said that I'm not qualified to study management. So when I graduated with my business strategy and finance major, I got a job in a bank and I started MBA at the same time. That time I chose management major
Okay.
for my MBA. So again, about my background. So I worked a couple of, actually 4 years in the banking. I was the youngest manager in my country. Yeah, I was working in the largest SME bank in the world. It's called the Bragg Bank. And
Okay.
I was working in the corporate section as a youngest manager. And I worked there a couple of years. But then I feel like the life is so boring. And since I had an interest to become a genetic engineer, I was like, oh, I want to do something about research. So I was like, okay, I don't like the job here anymore. So I want to continue my study again.
Okay.
So then I moved to Hong Kong. Moving to Hong Kong was a big decision because at that time, when you already have a stable job,
Yeah.
suddenly like quit your job and
Yeah,
move
yeah.
to somewhere totally new, that was a big decision. But I went to Hong Kong for my second master's degree.
Ah, damn.
So yeah,
This is all before you still got a doctorate too.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. Keep going. Keep going. My bad. I've only got one degree, and this is just like, okay, keep going, keep going. So second master's is in what?
So I went for a second master's that was in organizational and change management,
Okay.
management science and organizational change management. And during the orientation program, they asked me that, so why you are here? Because in the class, all the students are Chinese and you are the only foreigner. And what is your objective? I said, my objective is to go for a PhD program. Okay, we didn't know that anyone from Bangladesh comes here to start a PhD. I said, okay, now you see me.
Now you see me.
Yeah.
So actually, that thing helped me because there was one professor who saw me over there. And after that orientation program, he came to me and he said, well, if you're interested in research, I have some research funding. So you can start working for me for part-time as a research assistant. So the moment I went to Hong Kong, I started my study, my master degree. I started working as a research assistant for a professor.
Oh, nice.
And after I finished my master's,
And how long was this master program?
that was a 1-year program.
Yeah.
That was 1-year top master's program. And after that, I was working for that professor for 2 years full time as a research associate. Then, in the meantime, I applied for PhD program in Hong Kong, and I got offer in 2014, and I did my PhD in Hong Kong and the PhD in management. So basically, initially, my interest was more into management of religion, like how people use religion to
Yeah.
convince others. So I was applying in different sociology department, social science department. But someone told me that since your background is bachelor, so your background is so you should actually go for like business management. So I also applied in business management program, and I got offer from Baptist University. So I did my PhD in Baptist University.
And I
Yeah.
believe the Hong Kong Baptist University is like very well-known university in Hong Kong.
It is a well-known university in Hong Kong. Actually, in Hong Kong, there are 8 universities, and all the universities are the top-ranked university in the whole world.
Wait, there's only 8 universities.
Only 8 universities in Hong Kong.
Wow.
And
That
all
makes
they
sense.
have like
And-
top ranking in the world.
In fact, out of 8, 5 of them are among top 100 list in the whole world.
Okay. Damn.
All right. And how long your PhD was?
Well, I got the initial funding for 4 years, actually 5 years, 4 years and 1 more year from the faculty. So I got 5 years funding. And but I actually took longer because before I finished my PhD, I already got an job offer from here. And that's the time I was about to submit my thesis.
Mhm.
So one day, now another story. One day, one professor from my university asked me that, so are you finishing your PhD soon? I said, yeah, I'm about to submit my thesis. So she said, okay, we have a campus in Zhuhai, which is a part of the Hong Kong Baptist University with the collaboration of Beijing Normal University. So it's a long name. The name is Beijing Normal University, Hong Kong Baptist University, United International College. From we call that UIC.
UIC, yeah. I know it as UIC.
Yeah, mostly like in Zhuhai, you know that UIC.
I would have never guessed that that was the name of UIC.
Yeah, because it's a long name. Because actually, it was supposed to be Hong Kong Baptist University Zhuhai campus,
Mhm.
but when they started here 20 years back, that time they could not get a land from the government.
Mm,
And Beijing Normal University has a huge land.
yeah.
You know that their campus was huge.
Yeah.
So BNU said that, okay, you can actually start your campus here within our campus, and you can use our exhibition as well.
Okay.
So that's how we got
That's how we got
belonging.
got the start.
Yeah. By the way, now our name is already changed. From last year, the education board changed our name to Beijing Normal Hong Kong Baptist University. So no more UIC. Now it's BNBU.
BNBU.
Yeah. Beijing Normal Hong Kong Baptist University
Oh.
is the new name.
All right.
So back to the story. So when the professor asked me that whether I'm looking for a job or not, I said not yet, but I should actually. Then she asked me to apply here. I applied here, got some interviews. And after a couple of rounds of interview, I got offer here, but I didn't finish my PhD yet that time.
Yeah.
So I joined here, and at the same time, I was continuing my PhD. But unfortunately, my supervisor quit his job back that time
Mm,
because in PhD, you know that supervisor is the most important.
Yeah.
yeah.
So he quit his job and he went back to US. So I got a new supervisor. With him, I had to do all the research again.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I had to stretch my thesis for 2 more years.
Whoa.
So
you basically you did 2 PhDs in one.
almost like that. Almost like that. So it took me like 6.5 years to finish.
And while you were doing your doctorate, you were teaching.
Also teaching here.
Also teaching here. And since when you moved to Zhuhai?
Here in 2018.
2018.
Yeah. But I finished my PhD in 2020. Actually, at the end of 2019, just before COVID hit here, I took 1 semester off from here. so that I can go back and finish my PhD.
Yeah.
So I went to Hong Kong in 2020 January, and I think within a couple of weeks, COVID hit here.
Yeah.
So although I finished my PhD in June, but I could not come back until October, November.
Yeah, I think November, and everybody was coming back
Yeah,
at that time.
when the
Like,
border
when I
opened.
was out, they were just coming at the same time. I came back in November 4th. I was out too, yeah. So you've been teaching here. So how is and now you also have green card from China, yeah?
I have a couple of green cards.
Couple of green cards. Wow.
I have Hong Kong green card that is called the Hong Kong
ID?
permanent residence. Yeah,
Yeah.
ID. And I also have was that Chinese foreign permanent residence.
All right,
Yeah.
wait, hold on. We have to pause. We have to tell the people. We have to tell the people. People in China may know this, but if we don't, the people that aren't in China, to get this Chinese green card, like this permanent residence card, is one of the hardest in the world. It's like Australia, China, and like a few other places. I don't know. But I know it is hard as hell to get these two cards that we're talking about right now. You just can't get it. You can live here for 20 years
Whole
and,
life, maybe.
and you still may not get it. You know what I'm saying? Even when you get married to a Chinese nationalist, they're not just about to give it to you like in the States,
You
you
still
know,
have to like stay here for 5
for
years. And
5 years.
to them actually.
And it's still up to them. So like it's very, very like cool and rare. Like actually now that I think about it, like I think you're the first person I know that has one of those drinks. I just found out today. So yeah, continue. I just wanted to let people know like that's not easy to get. He earned it for sure.
I guess I was just lucky because even I didn't know about this. Suddenly, one day our HR told me that you are eligible to apply for a Chinese permanent residence. So if you want, I said, sure, why not? So I submitted the documents, and since they thought I'm eligible, but there was also a funny story about that. So many stories.
That's what podcast is. Stories.
Yeah,
That's what it
yeah.
is.
Yeah. Well, when I prepared all the documents and I was about to submit, suddenly the immigration department said that, oh, please hold on, don't submit your documents at this moment because we are going to open a new branch in Huizhong, and we want you to become the first applicant in our new office. I was actually the first person in that new office, and we had like in their inauguration ceremony. They invited me to take some.
Hey, we got royalty here in Maryland. You feel me? Hey, I'm famous green card. Let me get some of this luck off you, bro. You know? Hell yeah, I'm trying to get that joint too. Damn, okay.
That's actually really, really inspiring, amazing, and inspiring as
No,
well.
for sure, for sure.
So I will want to ask you this question, like, so you have studied a lot and you've been working here for quite a long time as well. Were you always clear about your goals?
That's a very difficult question. I don't think that I was never been clear about my goals in my life because I'm a kind of person who just go with the flow. I think to me, the opportunity came to me and I grabbed this opportunity. Although I was thinking that yes, I should do my PhD, but since my childhood, I want to do PhD or I want to do research in something else, pure science or engineering, but I was not in that field. Then I wanted to do research on management, but religious management. But now I'm doing a totally different thing. I'm doing research on entrepreneurship. Even the moment I was thinking about doing research on entrepreneurship, basically my topic initially was not about the entrepreneurship research that I'm doing right now. Because when you're talking about entrepreneurship, mostly people think about like those big startups like
Yeah.
Facebook or
Yeah.
Space, Silicon Valley type things. But my area is totally different because suddenly opportunity came to me. Because actually, when I was starting my PhD program, in my first couple of years, we had to do all the coursework first. Before we start research, we need to finish all the coursework and then we need to sit for the qualifying exam. During that time, there was a famous professor from entrepreneurship area. He came to Hong Kong. He actually came to my university because he was a good friend of my supervisor. And I was having a discussion with him. And he said, why don't you do research in this area? Because since you are from Bangladesh and in Bangladesh, there is a huge informal economy exists. So you should do research on entrepreneurship in informal economy. I was like, what is informal economy? Because I have no idea about it. And he said, okay, just read this new paper published like a couple of years ago. And this new paper is that paper is published in like our topmost journal. And he said, just read this paper and you can get some idea. And maybe you can think about doing research in this field. So that opportunity came to me that, okay, maybe I should do my research in this field. This way, like always opportunities are coming to me, even getting a job here. Someone just asked me that whether you're interested to it. Like,
But I think those opportunities came because you were already on the path. Like you were studying, you were in the business, or you were like doing your PhD, so people would know that okay, this might be the guy. I think the opportunities comes because you are already walking on the path.
yeah,
So
that's possible. But I think there is also one opportunity lead you to another opportunity.
yeah,
So I was walking in that path because maybe one opportunity came, and then that led to me another option.
yeah.
So
And I also want to ask, like you mentioned that when you were working in a bank, well, it was a big bank back in your home
by
country.
the way, I didn't start in a big bank.
Yeah,
My career, well, all my brief career in the industry, I switched few companies actually.
Mm.
So basically, when I was doing my undergrad, that time I worked a bit in a marketing company as a part time. But then when I finished my bachelor, because although I finished my bachelor from the best private university in my country. And all my friends, they got job in those like multinationals or in the banks, or they started their career in a senior position. Like for most of the business graduates, the most luxurious position they think about is the MTO, management training officer, because MTO is the position usually most of the graduates go for. And I was also looking for to get a job as an MTO position, but I didn't. I got a job in a very low position. But the company I got the job was, I think that was a Canadian company originally from Canada. It's called a Berry Green Capital. Later in Bangladesh, they changed the name to Union Capital. But the position I started was very, very low position.
yeah,
I worked there 1.5 year. In my experience, I learned because like when you are in a very low position, nobody cares about you. So you can learn everything. Like you can sit behind someone, some seniors, and try to understand what they're doing. So I was just trying to learn what they're doing. And after 1.5 year, when I got my first promotion, within a couple of months, I switched my job to another joint venture between Bangladesh and Sri Lanka. It's called Lanka Bangla Finance. I moved there with two more promotions. Within 2 months, I moved to that bank with two more promotions. So basically, within 4 or 5 months, I got 5 promotions and I moved to that bank.
I have a question. So in my phone till this day right now, your name is Lost Stranger. And
Yeah.
I think that is like it's very interesting in like a few ways. Like one is kind of like a oxymoron in a way, kind of like lost and stranger are kind of like the same thing in a way. You know what you mean?
Yeah.
And I am very interested in I don't know if you call your life, your journey, or yourself lost stranger, but where does this idea of lost stranger come from? What does that mean?
Well, actually, I took that name when I first time went to Hong Kong. And so they said that was a big move for me. And when I went to Hong Kong first, probably almost for 1 year, I didn't know any South Asian and I didn't have any friends. I was kind of a lone person. So, Hong Kong is a cosmopolitan city where it's a vibrant city,
Yeah.
very vibrant life. But there, I was feeling totally alone and lost. So that's why I chose that name, that in the crowd, I'm kind of lost and alone.
Mm,
So I chose that name, Lost Stranger.
okay. And do you still feel like that now?
I don't think so. Only sometimes. Sometimes. Sometimes you have a kind of feeling that you are in a crowded place, in a social gathering. Sometimes you feel totally alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of feeling sometimes happens to me because since you guys know me very personally, I'm not very extrovert,
Yeah.
kind of introvert, and I try to keep myself a little bit separated, isolated, right? So yeah, I still feel that.
No, that makes a lot of sense because I feel like a lot of people probably feel like that. Because now that you said that, there's plenty of times where I feel like that, you know? And it's not like a good or bad thing. It's just like that's what it is.
That's what it is.
That's the feeling right now, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
And so I thought that was very interesting. I think a lot of people, if you show this podcast to anybody that knows you and other people that know of you, they're gonna be very surprised to hear you talk about. So
Yeah.
I think outside my class, this is the first time I'm talking so much.
yeah.
And
No,
actually, Jeff is also not his real name. It's his.
wait, hold on. Put it in the book, huh? Hey, hold on. You gotta let him know. Do you want to reveal that right now? Do you want to premiere that?
Okay, sure.
Let's get it, cause I don't know. I don't know.
Well, my real name is Arif.
Arif?
Yeah, Arif. Arif.
Okay.
So that name Jeff came from Hong Kong,
Okay.
and actually it came from a party actually.
Yeah.
So when I was doing my masters, I used to party. I mean, I used to go to a party a lot.
Yeah.
Uh,
He didn't party hard. He just went to the party.
Well, he was not socialized.
I go to bars probably every weekend.
Yeah.
But what I do is I just grab my drink, I just sit alone, and
Yeah.
I just enjoy the music.
Please.
So that's the same thing I used to do in Hong Kong as well. I just grab my drink, sit somewhere, and listen to music. And sometimes some people randomly came to me, wanting to socialize, wanting to talk. So what happened once that someone asked me that, "What's your name?" I say Arif. What, Jeff? So no, it's Arif. Oh, Jeff. No, my name is Arif. Oh, okay, Jeff. So, yeah, fine, Jeff. So since then, I realized that honestly, Arif, the name is a bit difficult to remember, to pronounce, at least for some people. But Jeff is the very easy common name.
Yeah.
Anyone can remember Jeff, but it will be difficult for someone to remember or say Arif because this is an Arabic name, and actually, if you don't pronounce it correctly, the meaning is different because Arif means knowledge. But if you change,
He's very knowledgeable.
Yeah.
Knowledgeable.
Path is already selected.
Yeah.
Not too.
Arif means knowledge, but if you don't pronounce it correctly, if you say Araf means the gate, or probably is the judgment day probably. So it's really a different meaning. So I don't want to change the meaning of my name.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, maybe it would be easier if I just say my name, Jeff.
Okay.
And I think it's a very huge thing in South Asian countries. Like people, when they give name, they really think of their meanings, like what it means.
Yeah.
The name means. Like it's a very big thing. People really consider it like when they are giving name to their child, like what does this name means? And I think they think that it will affect their
The life, the
life.
outcome of their life. Yeah.
I think we can
That's
see
I
the
believe in South Asia because what I say that most of the parents, when they choose a name for their children, they try to find some meaning, and basically that also indicates their expectation about their children. That what do they want their children to be in the future. So if they choose a name with a certain meaning, they hope that in future their children will follow that similar path.
and you are a good example.
No, for sure, man. Plenty of knowledge. That's a fact.
I don't have knowledge. I just read some books, I guess.
Now, I read books too, and I got some knowledge. But yeah,
You got degree to show for it.
You got-
You got degree.
I only got a certificate, but you know what? I met many businessmen in Hong Kong and in different occasions, and they often ask me that since you have your PhD in entrepreneurship, or in management, can you tell me how to run my business in a better way? How to manage my business in a better way? I say, no, I don't. I can't because I'm not a businessman. I can tell you about some theories. Maybe you can follow those theories. You can relate your business with those theories, and you can think that how you can manage your business in a better way.
Yeah.
I can only tell you about some theories that maybe you don't know.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that I can help you to run your business.
You would probably have to like literally go work there and observe there for like a year and then be like, okay,
then
maybe I
I
could.
think that's how what knowledge is.
That's usually how that works.
Yeah.
Like you have to sit and observe first, and then like what's crazy is like I always think about like if I were like this person that could go to different places and like change jobs. Like we saw it done with X or Twitter, right? Elon Musk comes in within like hours of him buying it, everybody out. You feel me?
Yeah.
It's like whatever his plan is, whatever his plan is, his prerogative, right? But for me, it's like, all right, if I want this business to be successful, for me, what I would do is like I would sit back, go from the lowest level to the highest level, figure out like how they're doing certain things, watch how they do it. And then only after I compile data and research, then I will come in with suggestions. But then like I would also talk to the people that are doing this, like, all right, because at every job, if you go talk to, for example, we're at the school, you come talk to the teachers, you know what I'm saying? Go talk to the students. Like, okay,
Right.
what would it be? What do you need to make this a better experience for you? You know, I feel like if you go do that, that will get better results versus like, it's my company. I can just do whatever I want. And then what ends up happening is like they keep making the same changes over and over and
And
over
step
again.
and again.
And then
Because you
nothing,
don't know exactly what is the root problem.
yeah, and nothing gets really fixed.
In fact, that's why actually for last 10, 15 years, we have a new concept in entrepreneurship era. We call that corporate entrepreneurship. Because traditionally, most of the business decisions used to be taken by the top management
Yeah,
because they thought that they know everything. But that's not right because they are not actually running the business.
yeah,
The people at the root level, they are actually running the business.
yeah.
They know that how to convince the customers, what type of products
The
customers are
everyday,
looking for.
day-to-day
Exactly.
operation.
So nowadays, many companies now they're getting suggestions, feedbacks, or actually they're asking the lower level management to make the decisions. So all the suggestions, all the decisions are actually coming from the lower level, not from the top level.
That makes actually like the most sense because usually it's like, for example, if I'm the boss of this company, like, all right, I want you to do this. I'm not gonna do it because I'm the boss,
Exactly.
right? I just know when you get it to me is if this is what I want or if I don't want. I don't know how you did it. I don't know why you did what you did, but okay, this was good enough for me. Wow, but I don't know the everyday processes.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like if these people leave, I can't do that by myself, and I feel like that's just like not, I don't know, power to the people, but yes, power to the people. Like, if you really wanted to, like, if people just left their jobs, the higher ups and a lot of companies wouldn't be able to run their business because they don't know the day-to-day operations.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Like, the people at the bottom, like, they literally know everything. They just know people are higher up at most companies, not all companies. They don't know how to do certain things. So people were just like, bro, I'll leave right now. I'll leave right now. They'll be like, and some people are gonna be like, okay, go. But then company goes,
In fact, some people probably know detail about their company because they were the pioneer. They started their business.
yeah,
So maybe when they start their business, let's say 10, 20 years ago, maybe they knew about everything.
yeah,
But over time, the market is changing.
yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah.
So from being on the top, they cannot see how the market is changing. They can have like an overall picture, but they don't know the actual need from the customer.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's why you always need to like collaborate with your
With your team. No, for sure.
And also, like you mentioned, like which I was talking earlier, that you were at a very stable job, and when you decided to leave everything and then choose the to come for masters in Hong Kong and then do the PhD, I think that is one of the main thing. Also, like I think a lot of young generation, a lot of I can consider myself into like also get this problem. Like when you are settled at some point and your things are fixed, then you have to change everything to start something new or start something from the scratch. What was in your head? What motivates you to do it? It was just love for the studies or just passion, or was there any other motive?
well, I think there are few things involved there. You see, in for most of the people, they can't make a big decision in their life because the problem is they're always concerned about their financial burden, to be honest.
For sure.
So luckily, I didn't have that type of concern because of my family background. I didn't have to worry about it. So I could take a big move. But for most of the people, most of the young people, although they want to do something, they want to do something new, but they're scared of taking some new because like leaving your job and start to study again, you don't know what's going to happen after that.
Yeah.
whether after finishing your study you can get a job or not. So it's really an uncertain future. So most of the people actually they don't have that privilege. Let's say I had that privilege, so I could.
So you could do that. Okay. What advice would you give to those people? Because I think that's a very real thing right there. A lot of people just don't do things because of like that financial burden or financial risk, right? Mm. I would say that most people probably don't do certain things because of the financial risk.
Yeah.
It's not even about like being comfortable or not comfortable. A lot of people want to do things, but they're like, no, my life is good right now. If I do this, I
Exactly.
don't know. The
Yeah.
uncertainty like scares them. So like, what advice would you give to people who are thinking about like, or who want to
Doing
do certain
something
things,
else.
Yeah.
but are like, are literally just terrified of the risk of the financial part of it? What advice would you give?
Well, I think that as long as you have any stable job, my suggestion is yes, there is no problem to take risk, but don't take too much risk. So my suggestion is you have your job, keep your job, but in addition to your job, start taking small risks.
Mm,
And the moment you see that you're getting paid off from your small risk, then you can think about like switching your job.
taking a big one, big jump.
Yeah,
Taking
taking a big jump.
I feel that. I feel that.
I feel that too. Yeah, for sure. And like, for example, now, is there any more, like you had a goal when you make that decision to come to Hong Kong, and then now you've been working. Is there any new goal or thing in your head? Nothing.
Actually, I never had a goal because as I said that I just go with the flow. At that time, what I was thinking was I was getting bored with my job, to be
Mm,
honestly. And since I was getting bored with my job, because the banking job, you got a huge paycheck, but you don't have any social life. You have to go to work early in the morning, come back so late at night. Even in the weekends, you have to work sometimes. So I was totally frustrated about my life back then. So I didn't have a goal. I was thinking that I should go for study again. Study was kind of break for me. That okay, I'll take a break, and after taking a break, I believe that I'm qualified enough. I mean, at that time, I was thinking that I was qualified enough with my bachelor degree, with my work experience, with my MBA. So I was thinking that, okay, even if I take a break for 1 year, maybe later I can find another job. Or, or that is my second option, that I will go for PhD because I was always thinking about PhD. So like, okay, I'll go for my master's. When I'll do my master's at the same time, I'll apply for PhD programs if I can't, because I will apply for PhD program in different countries, in different universities. But the day, if I can't really get a PhD offer in next 2, 3 years, then I'll go back to my old job again. And I think it will not be very difficult for me to move back to my banking industry. So that was my thinking at that time. So yeah, I didn't have any goal. Obviously.
And what about now? Are you
Still,
happy with your job?
I think
Are
I'm
you happy
very
with your life generally?
I think I'm very happy about my life because I work 9 hours a week.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I teach 9 hours a week. So I think the job wise, it's a good job.
Hey, you see what that special car gets you? 9 hours a week?
So I don't have any research pressure. So basically, when you're in academia, yeah, there are two types of tracks. One is the teaching track, one is research track. So those who are in teaching, they need to focus more on teaching. So currently, I'm focusing on teaching. I'm in teaching track. But if you're in research track, then you have to focus more on research. You have to do less teaching. So probably instead of 9 hours, you have to teach like 3 hours or 6 hours and focus a little bit more on research. Right now, at this moment, I'm not focusing too much on research, but as I said, the goal. So my goal is like slowly, because when I was doing my PhD, I was doing a lot of research back then. But as I said, that last couple of years was a bit frustrating for me because I had to do another research.
Yeah.
Finish my PhD, and it was very frustrating because at one point of time I was feeling like maybe I'll not be able to finish my PhD. So since I finished my PhD, I actually stopped doing most of my research. But before that, I had like in my initial 4 years, I had 15, 16 papers in the top conferences in our field, like academic management, academic international business, academic marketing. In all those top conferences, I had 15. conference papers. So now what I'm thinking is maybe this year, finger crossed, I can start working on my papers again. Maybe, let's say, maybe I can go back to the research track again, do more research, publish more papers. And at the same time, currently I've started a project of writing a book. So yeah. So
We got thirsty, yeah.
it is still in planning stage. I'm just collecting all the information to write a book about social entrepreneurship, starting from like idea generation until the total execution of a social enterprise. So I don't know. This should take at least 1 or 2 years or even more to finish the entire book, because usually if a book is written by few authors, then usually it's a quick process. But if the entire book is written by one author, that's gonna take a long time.
Yeah.
So I'm still in a
No,
planning
you
stage.
got our support, man, for the book.
Yeah, man.
And for even the research, I think that's a very cool idea. And wish you all the best in the research. And I would like to see your book. I would like to put your book one of here.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely. So now you have been like me and Andrew, we usually work with kids, right? But you work with adults,
Young
right?
adults.
Yeah, young adults. Like, so I would like to know now the time has been changed, right? And time is evolving in a very fast pace as well. What is the, like, I would just put it like that what is the con and the pro do you see in that generation who's studying right now? And what advice would you give them if you have any?
Well, I think I should start with advice first. My advice is go for AI, but don't overuse AI.
Okay. And why is that?
The reason is about the pros and cons. That what I see that AI is gonna be our future for sure. Our current generation, or probably future generation, they are getting lazier because of AI. Like back in our time when we had to study something.
Fill your time though.
Well, I mean, when
His time when he was in school.
yeah, when I was a university student or bachelor student.
I was a young warthog.
Well, I would say when I was in my undergrad time period. So that time, if we wanted to search any information, yeah, Google was there for sure. But we used to look for different information. Like we used to go to the look for the information in the book, not only in Google.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
when I was looking for one information, we could see so many other information. So we could get like a lot of knowledge. But what's happening here, the students, they are not actually getting information. You are asking them to write something, they're just asking AI to write for them. So they're not learning anything. So that is the biggest disadvantage, I think, of AI, that our current generation or future generation, they are not actually learning. So they are only using AI. But I'm not saying AI is bad.
No, we understand.
As long as they try to learn from AI. So what our current or future generation should do is they should seek help from AI, but then they should try to learn from it. The information they search, they should not only place that information as a way he is providing them.
Right.
Instead of that, they should read that, they should try to get the information from it, and then they should summarize it in their own way so that we can understand that what they're learning from it.
And before you answer the con question, the pro of what you're doing, that brings me to a question of, and maybe you can answer this now or later, but like, so what do you suggest that, because I'm sure it's not only your university that has this problem. And if universities are supposed to be these learning institutions, right? Instead of a place that like you just go and get a degree, like do these tasks and you get your degree, right? Because now obviously as time goes on, the value of this degree is getting less.
Right.
Even like when I got my degree, growing up, my parents said, go to school, go to school, right? By the time I graduated, it didn't mean the same thing as when I was 5 years old,
Right.
and it wasn't the same when they were whatever. So like, if the main point of universities are to enrich students and give them knowledge and be these learning institutions, but now students have all these AI tools and like they're completing the assignments, they're doing the research, they're passing the classes, right?
Yeah.
but like now they're not learning and now they're not like critically thinking. What suggestions do you have to universities so we don't lose universities? Because I think universities are like important places where
And I also feel like that going to the universities, seeing different kind of people, different perception, and like as you said, like when he goes to the classroom, he just don't teach them; he learns from them as well.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
a process of like shared discussions,
yeah,
peer assessments. I have also a thing.
yeah.
So like these kind of things actually really helps you to
So
see different kind of. So
yeah,
I think
so
it's a really good thing.
yeah,
But yeah,
so that's why my question is like I feel like universities are very important still to this day. But what advice or what suggestions do you have for universities all around the world dealing with this AI problem and like kids not learning and critically thinking?
I think, honestly, talking about the universities and education system in most of the countries, our education system is still very traditional. So we still go by the book. We still ask the students to memorize the things, and which things are not fun for the students. At this moment, the new generation kids, this Gen Z, they are more interested about something they feel like having fun. So as long as we can create the assignments, as long as we can create the knowledge such a way which can draw the interest of the student,
like more
interactive, and not only interactive, something can attract the attention of the students. So if we ask them to write an assignment, probably they'll think that, oh, what's the value of writing this assignment? Instead of that, if you can create a game about that assignment, because the students love to play games. So create a game about it. So maybe the students will be interested to play a game.
Yeah, and I feel like that's also a very big thing that attraction span of people from our generation and the generation afterward is getting lower. So it's just like the reels and everything, people talk about it a lot on the internet as well. That it's like whatever gets the attention, that thing is actually has value.
Right.
So of course, like if the education is not, as you're saying, that it should be like that way that people they can get the attention of the students and people would like to learn. So I think that is very good and interesting.
Yeah, I mean, getting the attention is a very crucial thing nowadays because you see that when you see in your class the students are absent, and when you know that they're absent because they're playing games back in their dormitory. So the question is, okay, why they're staying in the dormitory and playing games and not coming to the class? Is it because the course content is not attractive to them or something else? Okay, so maybe it's something else is more attractive to them. So playing games more attractive to them or socializing more attractive to them. So why can't you organize or why can't you create your lessons such a way that the need they have, that socializing need, that gaming need, or whatever need they have, that they can fulfill staying in the dormitory that they cannot fulfill in the class. So as long as you can fulfill that need, I think the students will come back to the class.
Stay in school, kids. Stay in school. Or choose something you want to do in school and then stay in school. Read books.
Yeah, read books and of course try to have fun because again, as I said, that most of our courses, our lessons, honestly are not fun. Because if I think myself as a student, probably even I would not love to go to the class because who loves to go to class just to listen that boring lecture? So in my one course, in the social entrepreneurship course, I bring my students outside, and students they do some social work, and they love it. So in that course, I see that 100% students they go to the community to do some community service, and they love to go for those kind of activities.
Yeah.
So why don't we create that type of course that they love to do? If I teach a business course, maybe we should focus on like helping them to create a business.
No, I think that makes sense because I'm sure like I haven't been in school 11 years now. But I remember when I was in school, I was still like some of the classes I was taking, it was like I could talk to somebody that was an alumni for like over 20 years. Like, oh yeah, we did this in school too. I'm like, why am I doing stuff that you did in school? We got the internet now. Like I shouldn't be doing that stuff. And I'm positive there's kids at my former university that are doing like learning and doing some of the same stuff that I was doing in school, which there's going to be some overlap, but like the world has changed a lot since,
Yeah.
and I was only
Exactly.
and I was only in school in 2015. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like each year, technology is kind of like exponentially growing. You know, so like they do have to like almost kind of like reorganize the way they're learning and what they're learning about and the goals and values in order to keep up with what the future generation wants to do.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And so also I have one thing before we like sign off for this podcast, that you were an international student, right? And now you are an international teacher as well, right? So
International professor,
professor, yeah,
doctor,
doctor, not
doctor,
professor,
not that doctor.
doctor. What advice would you give them? What paths that they should take, or is there anything for them?
Okay, which path do they take or they should take? Actually, it's not about coming to China or any country. Obviously, coming to China would be a big privilege for most of the international students because of scholarship, honestly.
Yeah,
Because when the students go to other countries, the education cost is very expensive. In China, it is still, luckily, it is still much cheaper than most of the countries in the world. And the government is offering many scholarships, especially because of their Belt and Road project. They are giving many scholarships, and Chinese government actually has 3, 4 different types of scholarships offering to the students. So I think the students should choose or consider China as one test option. Now talking about the subject they should study. It depends on two things. One is their interest, and the second one is the market. Because they should look at the way market is changing. Because you see, in my university, in the business faculty, the number one program is accounting program, and most of the students they want to study accounting. Now, just look at the student size. That if there is 1,000 students are studying accounting from one university, there are thousands of universities in the one country.
yeah.
Yeah.
So 100,000 students are graduating from accounting program. How many students can get a job?
Probably like 2%.
Only one.
And I think accounting was like when I was in school, accounting was
Yeah,
still a thing, you
yeah.
know? Even
Yes,
before that.
it was always a thing. It has always been a thing. But the question is, where is the job? Yes, you can find accounting job in any company, but there's also same for human resource management, also same for marketing. So why don't you choose human resource management? Why don't you choose marketing? Or why not start your own business and study entrepreneurship? Because you should think about your future. Now, the problem is when I talk to my year two, year three, even final year students, that what is your future plan? Even a final year student says that going for a master degree, get a postgrad degree. You're fine. You want to go for a postgrad degree. In which subject? Which subject you want to study? I don't know. Which country you want to study? I don't know. What is your plan after your master degree? Get a job. What type of job you want to find? I don't know. Okay, if you don't know anything, then why you're studying?
Yeah.
So even before you choose your major in your bachelor program, you should think first, or at least talk to your parents, talk to your teachers, talk to your mentors first, that how the market is changing and how the market will be in future, what type of job you can get in future, and choose a major based on that. You should not just choose accounting. You should not only choose marketing. You should not only choose computer science just because everyone has been studying computer science for
Like
many
it's a
years.
trend. Yeah, just
Don't follow the trend.
And also, like, I want to ask, for example, you've been teaching businesses, right? A business, and also you have seen the time is changing a lot. So, what would you suggest a lot of people that should they look for a job or should they go and start their own business? Because as we know that there are like the job market is bad all over the world.
Okay, in most of the Asian countries, we are a little bit risk averse people. So, as a risk averse people, we try to find a job because we don't want to take risks. So, most of the parents they think that their children, their kids should start something that can help them to get a job. But honestly, do we have sufficient jobs? Not only in China, all over the world.
Yeah.
Do we have sufficient jobs? Where is the guarantee that you can get a job? Now, see that after you finish your bachelor, after you finish your master's, the job you get, how much salary you can get, what will be your highest paycheck, 4,000, 5,000? I always ask the same question to my students. Especially, I'm not being biased, but I ask this question to the male students that just assume that when you finish your bachelor, you'll be 22 years old. You'll go for your postgrad. When you finish your postgrad, maybe you'll 24. You'll try to find your job. Maybe it will take 1 year to get a job. If you're lucky, you'll be 25. 25 years old age. If you're lucky, your initial paycheck will be 5,000. You'll get your first promotion in 2 or 3 years. You'll be 27, 28. Your salary will be 8,000. When you'll be 30, your salary will be 10,000. 35, salary will be 12 to 15,000. Now imagine that you're 35 years old, your salary is 12 to 15,000. Can you afford to buy a car? Can you afford to buy an apartment? Do you think that any parents will let their daughter to marry you? A rational question. So why do you have to think about looking for a job? Yes, there is no problem of looking for a job. If you look at the data, most of the people, early 78 to 80%, if I'm not wrong, 78 to 80% people, they start their business when they're between 35 to 40 because they realize that their income is not enough for their life. So they need some extra income, and at that time they start a second income source and they start a business.
In my time, that like that,
But it's already too late, too late
because it's gonna take another 5 years for it to like.
to
Because most
grow that
businesses in
business.
general, the first few years, like they're not breaking even; they're in the red. Like most new businesses, are in the red. But that makes sense. We saw earlier.
2, 3 years, you're gonna lose the
Yeah,
business.
yeah.
And maybe you'll have to restart again.
Yeah.
So maybe you'll have to start the same business 2, 3 times. After you fail like a few times, then maybe you can actually scale up with your
And also, I feel like if in that way that if when you are young, you have more energy, you might have more time
Exactly.
and less responsibility.
So that's my point, that why you're looking for a job. Again, there is no point, no problem of looking for a job. When you're looking for a job, at the same time, why don't you try to start something of your own? Go for a job, try to find a job. At the same time, try to start up something.
Take those risks early.
At least you are not losing a big thing. You don't have to lose a huge investment at the time.
And I think it also helps with just like experience, because then like if you're doing that when you're young, by the time you do get to 35 or 40, you're like,
You're
"Okay,
already gained experience.
now I'm gonna take this big jump," but you've already taken those little risks already. So that what seems like a big jump to everybody else is like a small jump already, because it's like,
Exactly.
no, I've already done this way. I'm prepared for what's to come in the future. So no, I that's a good
Right.
answer.
Okay, so now last question. So is there any majors or subjects that you would like to suggest or offer for the students who are looking for?
Any major or subject? Okay. Again, difficult question, but I think any major is a good measure, honestly, because if you have passion for anything, even a social science, even arts, creativity, engineering, business, any measure can be a good measure as long as you have interest and passion into it. But if you talk about the recent trend, I think the recent trend is more into big data, machine learning, and AI. So these are the three new areas mostly that people are moving towards. So I think in future, this might be a big market. So if any student are not certain about what type of major they should choose, if they are really unclear about their future, maybe they can consider these areas.
Listen, guys, these are the majors. These are the majors.
But what he said is important. I think like having a passion and having an interest leads to innovation.
Yeah.
So whether it's something that's like a oversaturated market, like I don't know, whatever oversaturated market is right now, if you're really interested and passionate about it, that will bring innovation
Honestly,
to
I think there is nothing called an oversaturated market
yeah.
because even in the oversaturated market, you can always find a niche.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, exactly.
So as long as you have interest, you can find that niche.
So yeah, man, stay on the path, but choose the path.
Yeah.
Because once you choose a path, different opportunities will come. My man Knowledge here, I'm gonna start calling you Knowledge now. You know, you still have this one thing, but choose a path though.
Yeah. Start walking on.
Choose wisely.
Yeah, you could be a lost stranger on a path. Ooh, that's a bar. That's a bar. Choose a path, opportunities will come, but you have to choose a path. Don't sit down. Don't wander. Wander along the path. Yeah?
Keep doing
Yeah.
doing it.
My
And
name's
oil.
my name's Andrew. This is Ois. This is my boy Knowledge, aka Jeff, aka Arif. And we'll see you next time.
Thank you guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All the best to you.